Okay, my dear children, so today we will be starting the revision of this lesson, lesson number 7, visitors lesson. The name of the lesson is Events Tries an O Level, written by Colin Dixter. This lesson is a very interesting lesson. We have already discussed it, and these are the time of the revision. And when we revise also, we will see the introduction, we will see the theme, we will see the biography, and more especially the special quality of this discussion is that we will be making an analysis of the MCQ. So we will be discussing the MCQ, and when we discuss the MCQ, we will also be able to write the long type questions. So this will be the specialty of this particular class. Therefore, let us start this lesson. Here we go. Let's continue. So my dear children, so in this particular lesson, events tries an O level. So here in the title itself, when you go by the title, you can understand that the main hero or the protagonist, who is the protagonist? Events. So who was Events? Events was a kleptomaniac. What is a kleptomaniac? Kleptomaniac is a particular person who has the habit of stealing, who is very much habituated in stealing. And particularly what exactly happened, and because of this quality, Evans is put into the jail, and he breaks the jail 3 times, and therefore he is called the jailbird. He is called the jailbird. Means he frequently visits the jail, and this time where he is put? He is put in a very famous jail, and the name of the jail is Oxford jail. So he is now in the Oxford jail, and the jailer or the governor here is a very strict person. But how strict he is, how intelligent it is, so we will come to understand when you go through this lesson. And this particular lesson you see, so here in this particular lesson, Evans actually has the urge, Evans has the arts. He has the internal desire. Arts का मतलब क्या है? Desire है. So वो उसका मतलब desire क्या था? So he had the desire for some academic qualification, है ना? So we have the right. The children after the age of 14 years, so they have the right to the primary education according to the universalization of the primary education. So now, so he also wanted to have some educational qualification, academic qualification, so that his future life will be assured. He can do very well in the future life, and for this purpose he wanted to have some academic qualification, and he sought the permission. He asked the permission, or he sought the permission. He sought, short come from C. He seek the permission from where? He actually went to the governor, and then he told, sir, can I have some academic qualification? Because when I will get some academic qualification of the certificate, then I will have some better prospect in life. Therefore, when he appealed to the governor had to talk with whom? The secretary of the board. And after that, what the secretary of the board said? The secretary of the board had the good gesture. He said, yes, you can go. You can go forward. Therefore, after this initial discussion, so it was consented or agreed that you will be sitting for the examination, provided some good arrangement is made. So where the examination hall will be? The examination hall will be in the cell, in the particular cell where events is locked. Now my dear children, so in this lesson, so when the examination is held, so from there we can find out so that it is a battle of wit. It is a battle of wit, means it is a battle of wisdom. Okay, wit is the practical wisdom. Means it is the intellect. Therefore, this lesson presents, so what? This lesson presents the battle of wit between the governor and events the break. Events the break. And the readers, particularly you, take the pleasure. You get very much amazed. You get very much surprised to see the kind of the intelligence events had, even though there is hardly any chance for him to pass the ordinary level German examination that he is going to face now. Therefore, now let us continue. There we go. Let's continue. To start with, let us go to the writer, and after that we will be going to the characterization. After that we will be going to the introduction to the lesson. Then we will see the gist of the lesson, because the MCQ will be based on what? MCQ will be based on the biography of the author, the setting of the background, and more especially the summary or the gist of the lesson. Therefore, it is better that we discuss all this before going to the MCQ questions. Therefore, let us go to it. So, this lesson is written by Norman Colin Dexter. He is an English crime writer or the detective writer, known for his Inspector Morse novels. So now, Inspector Morse novel, this is the series of the novel. This is the series of the novel. This was published in the television also, and for which he also got some prizes, which were written between 1975 to 1999 and adapted as a television series from 1987 to 2000. He was born on September 29, 1930 in Stamford, Lincolnshire, England, to Alfred and Dorothy Dexter. In 1950, he married Dorothy Cooper, and they had a son and a daughter. So this is particularly the career. So he started his career as a teacher. He in the year 1954 he started his teaching career in the East Midlands, becoming the assistant classics master at Wigston School, Leicester. And after that, what happened? So he started writing the novels. Dexter has received several Crime Writers Association's award. In 1996, Dexter received a Megawitty Award for his short story Evans Prison O-Level. In 2000, Dexter was appointed an officer of the Order of the British Empire for services to literature. In 2001, he was awarded the Freedom of the City of Oxford. In September 2011, the University of Lincoln awarded Dexter an honorary Doctor of Letters degree. Therefore, this is the biography. And after that, let us see the character. In this lesson, what is the character and what does this characters do? Let us go for it. So, my dear children, so in every novel, in every play or the drama, there will certainly be some major character or the major character or the hero or heroine. Here, the hero or the protagonist. Hero को हम क्या बोलते हैं? Protagonist भी बोलते हैं. Protagonist, है ना? Because it is a he who dominates the scene. Who dominates the scene? Who dominates the scene from the very beginning to the end. Therefore, his full name is James Roderick Evans. He is a prisoner. So, more characteristics we will get to know about him. So, when we discuss the MCQ questions, so let us go for it. Then there is the secretary of the examination board. The name is not mentioned. He is a higher official of the examination board. There is the governor of the HM prison of Oxford. Name of the prison is HM prison, and this is situated in Oxford. Then there are two officers. One is senior officer and another one is very new or very junior officer. So Mr. Jackson is the very senior officer. He is the prison officer. So we will get to know about his character also. So he likes what he likes ordering people about. And there is a Mr. Stephens, a prison officer. He is a new recruit. R-E-C recruit. He is a new recruit. Means he is recruited or appointed newly. Then there is the Reverend Stuart McLeary. He is the invigilator. In reality, he is the priest. He is the priest, and he was appointed as the invigilator in the cell in which our Evans was sitting for the examination. Mr. Carter, he is a detective superintendent. He is the superintendent, and he is the superintendent in the department of the detective. It may be the CID or CBI. Then there is Mr. Bell, a detective chief inspector. So Mr. Bell is who is a Mr. Bell? So he is a DCI, means detective chief inspector. Detective chief inspector is Mr. Bell. So this is all about the characters in this particular lesson. Now let us go to the introduction to the lesson. So let us go for it. Evans was put into the Oxford prison at Carfax for his criminal record, including the 3 jailbreaks that he had successfully committed. We do not exactly know what the charges against him were. We do not exactly know what is the kind of the charges, whether he actually indulged in stealing or killing or murdering. We do not know what is the kind of the charge exactly. We do not know. It is most likely he was the master brain of the gang of robbers and was just one man robber who was great skilled at impersonating other people and thus made an income out of that. Now see, so it is assumed, it is a thought that yes, he may be one of the master brain, okay, one of the person who is the master in the gang of the robbers and who has the special quality of impersonating himself. Impersonating means what? Disguising himself as what? In their different characters. So suppose he has stolen, and then immediately what he will be doing? He will be disguising himself as somebody else. Therefore, it will be very difficult for the police or the cops to detect and then detain him. However, London police had no other choice than putting him in the most secret Oxford prison, where the jailbreaks were not at all common. Therefore, finally it was decided by the London police or the court that he will be put in a particular secure prison, and the name of the prison, when it was discussed, came out to be Oxford prison, because in the ancient time or in the earlier time there is no record of the jailbreak. Therefore, finally it was decided. Evans was aware of it too, seeing that he was in all sense feared for life. Evans made a new plan to escape, outwitted the police authorities, and managed to slip out of the prison. देखिए, so Evans को ये चीज बहुत अच्छे से मालूम हुआ कि so there is hardly any chance of going out of the prison, because there is tight security. The police and the guards are very much vigilant. Therefore, it is very impossible to dupe or deceive the police. Therefore, what was the last resort for him? What was the last resort? What was the last trick that was played by him? What was the last trick that was played by him? Was that he will be pretending to write the exam in order to have some academic qualification. So this was just what? This was a kind of alibi. This was a kind of alibi, means it is a kind of excuse. It is a kind of excuse. So that the examination is equal to what? Is a kind of excuse. He wanted to take this excuse just to get a chance to come out of the jail. Therefore, let us see. James Roderick Evans is a boy of deep intelligence, planning, resourcefulness, wit and wisdom, and is put into the Oxford prison. Now see, these are characteristics of James Roderick Evans. So it is the full name of Evans, James Roderick Evans. and he's a boy who is very much resourceful. Okay, he's having the resource of intellect, and he know how to do plan well. He's a man of practical wisdom. Therefore, in this battle of wit, he had the last laugh. He had the last laugh. He started learning German and is permitted to appear for O-level test in a separate and well-guarded cell. Although the unauthorized items are taken away from him, he is put under a strict invigilation duty by the prison staff. The governor goes on making inquiries at every short interval. The examination passes smoothly, but Evans pretended to be the bleeding person. He is taken to the hospital, but for all his careful and cunning strategies, he is arrested by the governor in the hotel. Even then, he succeeded to slip out of the clutches of the gullible governor, because of the people who actually nabbed him, who actually caught him, CAUGST, caught him, were one of the accomplices. Plices. Accomplices means they were also the members of the gang. Members of the gang. Therefore, let us go for the theme of this lesson. Here we go. Let us continue with the theme. So, what will be the theme here? So, as you have seen, this is the battle of the wit. We have already discussed. Therefore, let us see now. So, what is the theme? The story depicts what? The story depicts the clash of wit between criminal and the law enforcing authorities in which the prisoner Evans before the jail authorities and manages to escape from the prison. If the government and the law enforcing officials are vigilant, crime can be detected and criminals can be booked. Now here in this lesson, the writer gives the message to the authority, particularly the authority in the jail, to be more vigilant. If they are more vigilant, then the rate of the crime can be minimized. But a criminal like Evans can hoodwink the authorities and escape punishment as long as the officials are slow, lack alertness and wit. Now, when the officials and the officers, when the authorities of the jail are very much slow, they are not fast. If they are not having much wit or wisdom, if they are not very much alert, if they are very much gullible, okay, if they are not very much alert all the time, then there is a chance that they will be hoodwinked or they will be deceived or duped. So this is the theme of the lesson. Now let us go for the gist of the lesson. Let us go for it. The gist of the lesson. Evans, a kleptomaniac, was imprisoned thrice and all the time escaped from the prison. Now he was in the prison for the fourth time and all of a sudden developed to appear in O-level German examination, which also was an effort to break the prison. The governor took out utmost care to see that he would not be befooled. Every care was taken to make Evans prepare for the examination. He was tutored by a German tutor for 6 months. The day before the examination, the tutor wishes good luck, but makes it clear that he had hardly any chance of getting through a first. But Evans gives an ironical twist to the tutor's observation by saying, I may surprise everybody. On the day of the examination, Jackson and Stephens visited Evans' cell and took everything that may help him enjoy himself. Evans was insisted to take away the hat, but he refused to do by saying that it was the lucky charm. Evans' cell was bugged. Bugged means sound system was put there, so that the governor could himself listen to each and every conversation in the cell. The invigilator, Reverend S. McClary, too, was searched and left him to do the complete the task. Stephen, sitting outside of the cell, every now and then peeped into the cell. So these are the kind of the arrangement. So we can see the junior officer, that is Stephens. So he was looking through the peephole. अब जानते हैं ना peephole, ये peephole के जरिए मतलब क्या कर रहे थे? So he was observing constantly at the activity of our hero, that is Evans. Therefore, let us continue. The examination went on smoothly. Stephens escorted the invigilator to the main gate and looked into the Evans' cell and found the invigilator actually Evans wounded. Informed the governor. The latter was to be hospitalized, but informed that he was alright and asked him to follow Evans. Thus he escaped to the prison. So you will see here the twist. So finally the examination was over. Stephens saw him off into the main gate. Stephen saw the invigilator McClary. Okay, means he escorted him to the main gate. After that, finally he came to the cell of Evans. But to his surprise, he could see that yes, McClary was very much wounded, because here what we can understand is that Evans disguised himself as McClary, and then he seems to be wounded, means he was wounded by whom? He was wounded by McClary, it was supposed. He was wounded by McClary, it was supposed. Therefore, instantly he was taken where? So he was taken to the hospital. Then let us see. When the invigilator was not found into the hospital, they went to the residence of Reverend S. McClary only to find him bound and gagged in his study into the Broad Street. He has been there since 8:15 a.m. Now everything was clear to the governor. Now let us see this part. So there is a great twist here. My dear children, there is a great twist here. So who was inside? Who was, after the examination was over, inside the cell of Evans? So who was there? Who actually thought, or who actually appeared to be McClary? A person disguised or impersonated as McClary was in reality Evans. So he looked like whom? He looked like the invigilator McClary, and therefore he told, "Sir, I can tell about the whereabouts of Evans. Therefore, let me tell you the places he frequently visits." Therefore, governor did what? Governor sent people in order to search or find out McClary. But in reality, the real McClary was found to be gagged and bound by somebody. Then it was very clear to the governor that yes, this game is played by Evans, and the real culprit here is Evans. Even actually impersonate as being McClary. He stayed here inside, and then finally when he was hospitalized, from hospital he went out to the Golden Lion Hotel. Then let us see. Let us see the next. Evans escaped the prison the fourth time, but by taking the hint from the question paper, the governor reached to the hotel where Evans was and captured him and came to know how he planned his escape and said that his game was over. Evans surrendered himself to the governor. Now see, finally the governor knew German, and with the help of that primary knowledge, with the help of the hint that was put there in the question paper, he could find out the whereabouts. He could find out the whereabouts of Evans. Means where Evans stayed, he could understand, and finally he was found out. And after that, it was told to Evans that his game was over. He would not try to make any effort to go out, because he is surrounded by people. Then finally he was asked the question, how did he make all this plan to come out of the jail? Then he told everything. Then finally what happened? Arrangement was made. The jail van was called, and then he was sent. He was sent to the jail through the jail van, but something else. Let us see. The governor tells Evans that they would meet him soon. The moment they are reached up to the governor, that the so-called prison officer, a friend of Evans, unlocked the handcuff and asks the driver to move fast, and even tells him to transfer to Newbury. So this particular officer, the prison officer, was the so-called officer. It was not the authentic or the genuine or the real officer. It was the person. It was the person who was the friend of Evans, and therefore he unlocked the handcuff and asked the driver to move to the Newbury so that they can have the funny time there. And in this way, we see in the last part of the lesson also, we could find that it was Evans who had the last love, who had the last love. Means Evans was the person who was successful in the battle of the wit, and one actually astonishes about what? About the quality, about the marvelous, resourceful, intellectual quality of Evans. So, into the heart of the heart, we begin to praise Evans because of his resourcefulness. Because of his resourcefulness. Because he was very resourceful person. He knew what are the other techniques to be applied when the first technique or the earlier technique actually become invalid. Therefore, let us go for the next. So, we will be now going for the MCQ questions. So, now let us go for the MCQ question. This is the time for going to the MCQ question. So, having discussed the biography, the introduction, the theme, and also the main character and the main points. So, it is the time for discussing 40 only 40 number of MCQ question, and I am very much sure that when you will be appearing to the examination, all the question, I am very much sure that all the question will be somewhere or other attached to these questions. Let us go for the questions. Name the author of the lesson, Evans, Tyson, Euler. Who is the author, my dear children? So, we have already discussed Norman Colin Dexter is the author of this lesson. So, he is the British author. So, we have already discussed. So, he was famous for which particular series? He was particularly famous for Chief Inspector Morse series, and for that he was also awarded with the prize. Then let us go for the next question, question number 2. Here you go, let us continue. Question number 2. Why did Evans decide to take the O-level examination? ये देखिए, this sort of question, ये जो question है ना, ये question आपका मतलब long type question में भी आ सकते हैं. Means long type means what? Objective type, not long type, objective type question may come. Why did Evans decide to take the O-level examination? So it may be for 2 marks question also. So you can go for that. So now what is the purpose? We have already discussed. So let us see the answer. To keep his head on his head. No. To study. No. To add to his academics. To plan an escape from the prison. So this one. That means it was what? It was an excuse. It was an excuse, or it was an alibi that we have already discussed. It was an alibi. Means he wanted some excuse so that he can make good his escape. Evans is a rather quiet, non-violent type of person. and he wanted to sit for the O-level examination because he wanted to go out of the prison. Now let us go for next question. Question number 3. Question number 3. What kind of person Evans was? So what kind of person he was? So when we talk about Evans, so he was not violent. He was not violent means he was what? He was amiable. Amiable means his behavior was very much pleasant. Very much pleasant. Then let us go for the option. So this is our previous knowledge. Basing on this previous knowledge, we will be going for the options. And many times you will see that many options seem to be almost similar. Therefore, your previous knowledge is very much needed. And more particularly, your critical faculty also will have to be applied. Let us go for what kind of person was Evans? Kleptomaniac he was. Pleasing personality and tendency to mislead ये भी था. Stealing habit वो भी था. Therefore, when all these things are correct, that means option D will be very much correct. Option D, all this will be correct. Evans was a quite pleasant type of person, but he was congenital kleptomaniac from his birth. He had a tendency to steal. That means all these points are there into the characterization of Evans. Therefore, the option D will be correct. Option D, all this will be correct. Let us go for next question. Question number 4. Why was Evans called Evans the Break? Evans the Break. So it was a what? It was a nickname. It was a nickname. Why the nickname is given, my dear children? The nickname is given on the basis of the activity of the person. On the basis of the activity of the person. And many a time on the basis of the word that is frequently uttered by the person. Therefore, let us see the option. Because of his pleasant personality, no. Because he kept hat on his head, no. For escaping from the prison thrice, this is correct. He was called the jailbreak. He was called the jailbreak. Jailbreak means earlier he had 3 times. He had broken the jail means he came out of the jail 3 times, and this is the time 4th time he is now put into the Oxford prison. Name of the prison was H.M. prison. Therefore, the option number C is very correct. Now let us go for question number 5. Question number 5 here. Why did Evans wrap a blanket around his shoulder? So exam was going on. It was of course winter time. No, nothing was allowed in the cell. Even though the head was kept by Evans, yet when it was looked through the peephole, जब peephole से peephole स्टीफेंस ने नोटिस किया, तब उनको देख के मतलब ये बहुत आश्चर्य हो गया कि something is wrong. What is that? So he is now covering himself with the blanket. So he is putting the blanket around around his shoulder. Something is very much fishy. Something is very much fishy. कुछ तो गड़बड़ है. Okay? दाल में कुछ डाला. Therefore, now let us see the option to conceal his effort of changing dress to look like McClary. Exact correct answer है. We know it. Because he was feeling cold. No, cold के कारण नहीं. To hide himself from the police, वो भी नहीं है. पुलिस का इधर सवाल ही नहीं. Therefore, option B cannot be correct. Now let us go for question number 6. Let us go for question number 6. What two purposes did the correction slip serve? So you will notice that the exam was going on, and at that time, all of a sudden, there is a phone call. The phone call comes from the examination board. So from there, something is told. What is it told? That something is wrong in the question paper. Therefore, correction can be made. So therefore, let us see the correction slip. What the two purposes did the correction slip serve? To give a correct name onto the hotel, to events, and exact date and time of exam to events. To help events escape, to inform events gang his plan of escape. All this. That means, so here actually this correction slip was giving him all this information. Therefore, option D will be very much correct. All this information was served to him as to when the examination will be over, as to where he will have to put him up after his escape, how his friend will come to know about the exam. All this hint was given in the correction slip. Let us see. In the fast escape plan, correction slip was used to achieve two purposes. The first was to convey the information of the correct hotel name to events, and the second was to let the members of events gang know the exact time that exam started. Therefore, these are two things were to be informed through the correction slip. Now let us go for next question number 7. Question number 7. How did events escape from the jail? Let us see the option. By jumping to the wall? No, not at all. By befooling the watchman? No. His friends and prison officer released him. All. Now see, all cannot be. His friends and prison officer released him. So you can know the whole story. When you know the whole story, understand all the tricks, then you can answer this question very easily. So option number C will be correct, because his friend, the gang of the robbers in which he was one of the vital member, helped him in order to release him from the jail just by disguising or just by impersonating as McClary. Let us see the option. So let us see the answer part. Even escaped from the Oxford jail in disguise of McClary, whom Evans had met in George. He misled the officer of the prison by misguiding them, catching him. He pretended to be drunk, and while the ambulance was called, he cleverly flew from the car. Then let us go for the next question number 8. Let us go for it. Question number 8. What is the Norman Colin Dexter known for? This is very simple. So he is known for what? He is known for Inspector Morse series of novels. Inspector Morse series of novels. Therefore, option D is the correct. When was his Inspector Morse series published? So it was published in between 1975 to 99. This is the correct answer. Not 98, not 97, not 94. Therefore, option A is correct. Now let us go for question number 10. Let us go for it. Question number 10. Who ordered Evans to take off his hat? So you will remember what exam was supposed to start, and Jackson came there, and Jackson asked him to do to take his hat off. So the answer will be Jackson, not Stephen, not the governor. Yes. Then let us go for next question number 11. Question number 11. Why was the governor not ready to take a risk? Let us see the option. To bring a good name? No. To stop events from taking exam? No. To avoid any bad name? Correct? None. Wrong. Why was the governor not ready to take any risk? So that the governor was not ready to take any risk because Evans is a very expert in escaping from the jail or breaking the jail, and when when the jailbird will go out of the jail, then it will be a kind of defense for the governor. Therefore, he did not want to take any chance or any risk or chance. Let us go for the next question, number 12. Who checked the cell thoroughly? Who checked the cell? So we will remember that there are two persons who were in charge of events, particularly on the day of the examination, and they were the senior and the junior officer. Senior was Jackson and junior was Stephens. Therefore, option C is the correct. It is not the police, not the governor, not Stephens alone, but it is both Jackson and Stephens who were responsible for checking thoroughly the cell in which the exam was supposed to be conducted. Let us go for the next question, number 13. Question number 13. Why did Evans request not to take off his hat? So his hat was supposed to be taken off by Jackson, but he said, "Sir, there is a lucky charm in my hat, therefore it is not to be taken." Now see, so what he said? He was feeling cold? No, not at all. It is not the question of feeling cold. No. To give a smart look? No. He loved to wear the cap? No. Even considered it lucky for himself. So he said that, "Sir, this is having a lucky charm. Therefore, it should not be taken." Now let us go for the next question, question number 14. Why couldn't Stephen identify Evans' trick? So my dear children, so it is said that experience is a great master. Experience is a great master. So when a person is appointed new, okay, when a person is appointed a new or newly, then he will be lacking in experience and therefore he will not be as suitable as the old one. Therefore, such was the case with Stephens also. Let us see the option. Why couldn't Stephen identify Evans' trick? Because he was not trained. Of course, he was trained. When he was appointed, he was trained. He was a new recruit. Yes, this is the thing. He was a new recruit, means he was appointed newly, and he did not have the experience. That means he was lacking in experience, and that is the obstacle. That is the obstacle that came onto the way of his understanding the trick that is played by Evans. Let's see next question, number 15. Let us go for question number 15. How could Evans' plan of escape become a success? So in order to make a plan successful, what is needed is the intelligence is needed, wit is needed, wisdom is needed, resourcefulness is needed. So this is the preconception you have about events or about the general plan to become successful. So let us see whether these things are there or not. Because of his wit, yes, उनका तो wit था वो जबरदस्त था, और ये lesson जो था, ये lesson भी क्या था? It is a battle of wit. It is a battle of wit. So this is a battle between whom? Between Evans and the Oxford jail authorities. Therefore, option A is correct. How could Evans' plan of escape become a success? Even then, let us go for the next option. Because he kept his hat on his head, no. Because he was cunning, yes, cunning of course he was, but because of cunningness, people cannot be successful in executing the plan, in making the plan successful. Therefore, option A is very correct. Therefore, let us go for the next one, question number 16. So this is a very simple question. So we have already discussed this question when we discussed the characterization. Who was Carter? So who was Carter? He was a detective superintendent, not the watchman, not a policeman. Therefore, the option C is correct. Now let us go for question number 18. who arrived first on the scene after Stephen found McClary. So let us see the question once again. Who arrived first on the scene after Stephen found McClary? So the examination was over. Stephen went to the main gate. He went to the main gate in order to escort McClary. Okay. So everything was alright up to that. So he wanted to have the last look. He went to the cell of Evans, but to his surprise, what he could see, there is another McClary who is wounded there. Therefore, he was very much confused, and he phoned up to the governor, telling that, sir, gajab ho gaya, kyunki McClary is wounded. McClary is wounded. He is there inside the cell of Evans. Therefore, let us go for next question. Question number 18. Whom did Stephen actually catch? So whether it was a McClary or Evans, a thief, all cannot be. So it will be McClary. So when he came back, then it was found that McClary was there. Therefore, he could catch or nap. He could nap or catch McClary only. Therefore, let us go for next question. Question number 19. Who was the McClary? Very simple question. McClary, who was the McClary? McClary was who? Originally, he was a priest or a person. He was a P-A-R-S-O-N, person from the College of Divinity or the Christian college. Therefore, even a friend, policeman, inspector, the invigilator who had been appointed by the governor to invigilate. Original identity was he was a person, and in this particular case he was appointed as the invigilator to guard or invigilate on the examination on the particular subject, that is German exam conducted by the board. Now let us go for next question number 20. Here we go. Let us continue. How did Evans outwit the governor? है ना? ये क्वेश्चन जो है ना, ये क्वेश्चन बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन है. ये क्वेश्चन इंटरेस्टिंग क्यों है? ये जो है, दिस एक्चुअली टॉक्स अबाउट व्हाट? आउटविट. ये देखिए, विट का मतलब क्या था? इंटेलेक्ट था. आउटविट का मतलब क्या है? आउटविट का मतलब ही ये है कि मतलब इन द बैटल ऑफ विट यू डिफीट समबॉडी. You defeat somebody in the battle of wit. So, how Evans was successful in outwitting the governor? By taking exam, no. By putting his hat, no. By keeping a letter, no. By escaping again. Escaping again for the fourth time, he befooled the governor. He outwitted the governor. Let us go for next question, number 21. Here we go. Let us continue. Question number 21. How was the governor able to look at Evans? So this event actually follows the examination. When after the examination, McClary was wounded. Okay, McClary was wounded. It was shown that McClary was wounded, and then he was hospitalized. But in reality, it was Evans who actually disguised himself or impersonated himself as being McClary. Now after that, now how to look at? So you remember what were the thing by which the location was made? By putting together 6 figures. देखते हैं. By decoding, yes, ये तो है ना? He could decode some code word there into the correction slip with the help of the Ordnance Survey map of Oxfordshire. No, all this cannot be. Therefore, the option by decoding the code. By decoding the code. Therefore, you see the option. The answer of the option. The governor decoded it for Newbury. Means code language was there, and then the governor decoded because he had the knowledge of German. And by putting together the 6 figures, reference, the index and center number, and with the help of the Ordnance Survey map of Oxfordshire. He was able to locate events into the middle of Chipping Norton. Now see, this option you see, with the help of the Ordnance Survey map of Oxfordshire, this was also used. Therefore, option number D is very correct. Now let us go for next question, number 22. Here we go. Let us continue with question number 22. So, in the earlier question, question number 21, we come to understand about how he was located with the help of the map, with the help of the figures, with the help of the code language, how he was located. The question arises now, where he was located. So, question number 22, where was Evans located? In the Middle East? No. In Japan? Not at all. In the middle of Chipping Norton is the correct answer. So he went, or he was taking shelter. He was taking shelter in this particular hotel. Name of the hotel was Hotel Golden Lion, and this was situated where? In the particular place called Chipping Norton. Therefore, Evans went to the Chipping Norton. He stayed into the Hotel Golden Lion into the middle of Chipping Norton. So, the option C is very, very correct. Now, let us go for question number 23. Question number 23. From where did they find the name of the hotel where Evans was staying? This is very interesting. That means some of the quality of the detective, the governor and his officers should have. Therefore, let us see what is that. तो ऐसा बोला जाता है कि जो चोर जब चोरी करते हैं कुछ ना कुछ सुराग तो वो रख के चले जाते हैं. Therefore, so when our Evans went out, he did what? He kept the correction slip, and that was the clue. Therefore, let us see the question and option. From where did they find the name of the hotel where Evans was staying? They means what? The prison officers. How did they get the clue or the hint that Evans was staying in a particular hotel called Golden Lion? So this is with the help of the correction slip. From the police, no, police could not help or did not help. From the people also were totally ignorant. Secret agent, no CBI nor CID was engaged here. From the correction slip, the governor with the help of his own intelligence used the correction slip, decoded it, and find out the location of Evans. Find out the particular hotel in which he was sheltering. Let us go for question number 24. Let us go for question number 24. Question number 24. What was the name of the hotel where Evans was staying? What is the name of the hotel where Evans was staying? Very simple. So we have already discussed. Name of the hotel is Golden Lion. After his escape from the prison, Evans had stayed at the Golden Lion Hotel. One evening he returned to the hotel after a stroll around the center of Chipping Norton. So after coming out of the hospital, where he was hospitalized by the prison authority, he was simply roaming. He was simply roaming there around the center of Chipping Norton, and then finally, after having his food, he went to the Golden Lion Hotel. Let us go for next question number 25. What aided Evans' arrest? What aided means what actually helped? What helped in the arrest of Evans? His friend? No. His gang? Not at all. His secret agent? No. The clue even left. The clue in the form of the correction slip, that actually was the aid to the arrest of Evans. Let us go for next question number 26. Let us go for question number 26. Where was the clue left? Let us see. Where was the clue left? On the table, in the cell, on the mobile, On the question paper, yes, on the question paper. In the question paper itself, so the clue was left. Let us see. Evans escaped from the prison with the help of a clever, infallible plan. Certain clues were left behind by the shrewd fugitive, which was a careless act according to the governor. There was a superimposed question paper with a direction to the supposed plan. Therefore, in the question paper itself, some superimposed question paper, some superimposed slip was there that helped him in detecting events where he was. Let us go for next question, number 27. Here we go, question number 27. Why did Evans clip his hair short? Clip his hair short. So many times the armies or the Jawans, they clip their hair very short for their own convenience, and many times, and this is the trend now, people clip their hair short in order to look smart. So this is all about the trend. This is all about the trend or the fashion. Now, what is the purpose of our Evans? To aid his escape plan and to pass off as McClary later, he was feeling hot, not at all. To give modern look, no. To give a young look, no. So the purpose was, this was one of the strategies that he adopted in order to make good his escape. Therefore, the answer is option A. Let's see the answer part. Evans was determined to make his escape plan a success, and so he had clipped his hair short to pass off as McClary later. The underlying idea behind the second call was to take Tiffins away for some time so that Evans could give finishing touches to his makeup to look like McClary. Let's see the next question now. Question number 28. Here we go. Question number 28. What was the purpose of the second call? ये देखिए second call मतलब क्या था? First call was giving the message as to the correction slip. Second call was an opportunity. Opportunity what? So just to give some time to manage. Let us see the answer. To take a step so that Evans could give final touches to his makeup. Yes, exactly. These are the answer part we have already discussed. To give time to the Evans to run, to befool Stephens and Jack. Okay? Now, therefore, the answer option A is correct. The underlying idea behind the second call was to take Stephens away for some time so that Evans could give finishing touches to his makeup to look like McClary. Let us go for next question 29. Here we go. Let us go for question number 29. From whom did the governor receive the first call? So that the exam started, and after the start of the examination, there was one phone call, and the phone call certainly came from Assistant Secretary from the Board of Examination. Therefore, option let us see. From where did the governor receive the first call? First call from Assistant Secretary. What is the purpose? To tell that there is some mistake in the question paper, not Joint Secretary, not Assistant Commissioner, not. Therefore, the first call the governor received was from the university regarding, university means the board. So, these are the board of examination regarding a correction slip which was not sent to the question paper. The second call was supposed from the magistrate office requesting for a van and 2 prison officers. Therefore, let us go for next question number 30. How did the first call mislead the governor? So the first call, certainly, so the governor was, what sort of governor he was? When you are an officer, when you are a class 1 officer, You should have that much intelligence. You should have that much critical faculty by which you can judge the people, judge the character, judge the man and their motive. But our governor, somewhere or other, he lacked some of the quality. So he lacked, means he was wanting in. He had some shortage in his character, that he could not judge human being properly, and because of that he was constantly duped or cheated. Therefore he is called the gullible governor. Gullible means a person who can be cheated very easily. Therefore let us see, how did the first call mislead the governor? By demanding a prison van for a remand case whereas it was needed for Evans' escape. By giving wrong information, by calling him to CM office, none. Therefore, the first call that the governor received from the assistant secretary was a hoax or a trick. It was a trick. It misled the gullible governor by demanding a prison van in connection with the remand case of whether the van was needed for Evans' escape. Therefore, option number A is very right. Let us see next question number 31. Let us go for it. Question number 31. What did the governor want Carter to do? Carter was the detective superintendent. So what he was expected to be done? He was the detective superintendent. Carter was the detective superintendent. What he was expected to do? He wanted him to check Evans. No, not check. He wanted him to go with Evans. No, not at all. He wanted him to accompany and go is almost same. He wanted him to accompany injured McClary. Okay, injured McClary. So we see, when one look at the person who was injured inside the cell of Evans, then one will look at McClary, because his original identity was not revealed or expressed. Therefore, for this purpose, detective superintendent Carter was called in order to accompany him to the hospital. Let us see next question. Question number 32. Question number 32. What was there in the small brown suitcase that McClary carried? So McClary मतलब कौन थे? वो person और priest थे, है ना? वो priest थे, P-R-I-E-S-T, priest. So now at this particular moment, so he is the invigilator. So he was carrying the suitcase brown in color, and inside it he carried something. What was there? Let us see. Sealed question paper that was there. Yellow invigilation form was also there. Special authentication card, that is also there. Therefore option number D is very correct. Therefore the answer will be like this. What were the contents of the suitcase that was carried by McClary? The small brown suitcase that McClary carried contained all that he needed for his morning duties, meaning his invigilation work. It contained the sealed question paper, envelope, a yellow invigilation form, special authentication card. Okay. Now let us go for question number 33. Here we go. Question number 33. What information did the governor receive from the detective superintendent? What are the information that was received by the governor from the detective superintendent? So let us see. The information that was received was McClary had spotted Evans. So it was finally it was detected. It was decided that McClary had spotted or found Evans was driving a car. Evans was seen near Elsfield Way. ये भी correct है. Elsfield Way में देखते हैं. So he was driving. Chased Evans but lost. So he gave a chase also. He was pursuing. He was following Evans, but all of a sudden he was lost in the midst of the crowd. Therefore, the option D is very correct. Let us summarize the answer in this form. The detective superintendent told the governor that McClary had seen Evans driving off along Elspeth Way. They got hold of the registration number of the car but had lost him on the way at Haddington roundabout. He told governor that Evans must have somehow escaped into the city. Therefore, this is the information served to the governor by the detective superintendent. Let us go for next question. Question number 34. Here we go. Let us continue with number 34. What did the governor tell the secretary of the examination booth? So this is just before the start of the examination. Let us see what were the discussion that were made by the governor and the secretary. Evans is a pleasing person. Yes, exactly. This is correct. Can imitate stars and was a star of the Christmas concert. Means he is a great lover of the concert, and he is also a good imitator of. He is a good imitator of the stars, good imitators of the actors and the actress. He was a kleptomaniac, means he had the habit of stealing. Yes, all these qualities were there, and all this information was shared with the secretary of the examination board. Therefore, option D is very correct. Therefore, let us go for the option D. Let us summarize it. The governor tells the secretary of the examination board that Evans was quite a pleasant sort of person. He was one of the stars at the Christmas concert due to his ability to imitate well-known person, but he was also a congenital kleptomaniac. Let us go for next question. Question number 36. Question number 35. How can you say that Evans could not get through the O-level examination? Okay. So now, what is your guessing? What is your guessing about the performance, the supposed performance of Evans? Evans is going to sit for the examination, O-level German examination. How can you say that he cannot pass the examination? He was behind the bars. Okay. He was in the jail. No. He did not attend any class. He attended class. He did not study. He studied. He is unable to understand even simple expression like Guten Glück. Guten Glück means what? Good luck. Good luck. So he is a German teacher. He is a German coach who just before the examination, in the evening time, he wished him Guten Glück or good luck or best of luck. He could not understand. From there one can understand that he is not going to get through the examination, means he is not going to pass the examination. Therefore, let us summarize the answer in this manner. The option A is correct. The option A, let us explain. Evans did not have any chance of getting through the O-level examination, as he was not capable of understanding in a simple German expression of Guten Glück, means good luck. He was taking the test in an attempt to plan his escape from the prison. Very good. So this exam was taken. So this exam was equal to an excuse to get out of the jail or get out of the prison. Therefore, let us go to next question number 36. Here we go. Question number 36. Why was he even keeping the hat on his head? So this is very simple. So we now understand the real motive. In reality, what he was telling. He was telling that, sir, this is a lucky term. Means this hat is very lucky. Once I will be wearing this hat, I can easily get through the examination. But in reality, the motive was different. What is the motive? So the motive was to avoid being detected, as he had clipped his hair short to look like McClary. है ना? उनका मोटिव तो ये था कि उनको देखने में मैक्लैरी जैसा मतलब लगना चाहिए, and McClary had the very short hair. Therefore, he was keeping the hat on his head for this purpose. To cheat was there, but we will have to go deeper. To avoid cold, no. To give a smart look, no. Therefore, the option D is very correct. The reason Evans give for keeping his hat on his head is that it was always brought him good luck. The actual reason was that since he had clipped his hair short to pass off as McClary later, he needed to keep his hat on to avoid being detected. Avoid being detected means this was a kind of mask. This was the kind of mask for him so that people cannot identify his real identity. People fail to understand his real identity. Let us go to next question number 37. Question number 37. What precautions did the authority take to conduct the examination smoothly? So these are the measures. These are the measures or the precautions. What are the measures? Let us see. Measures means what? Many measures will be there. Therefore, all the steps in the form of the option A, B, C will be the measures. This is our general knowledge. Therefore, with that general knowledge, let us go to the option. So, the option that will search will be the precaution taken by the jail authority. The governor personally supervised the security. Yes, exactly. From time to time, he phoned up. He looked at the security measure. Even the cell was checked thoroughly. Okay. So the cell was scanned thoroughly. All belongings were taken from Evans. The invigilator was frisked. So the invigilator also was checked very thoroughly, and police officer was posted to keep a vigil. That means the option B is very correct. Therefore, let us go for the summary of the answer. For smooth conduct of the examination, various precautionary measures were taken. All sharp instruments like razor, nail scissors were removed. The governor, senior prison officer Jackson, and officer Stephens were put on duty. A special invigilator McClary was arranged for the examination. So these were the measures taken by the jail authority in order to have the examination in a fair manner. Let us go to the next question number 38. Let us go. Why was the invigilator frisked? So the invigilator was a frisk. Frisk means what? He was searched thoroughly. He was searched thoroughly. Means he was SCANNED, scanned thoroughly. He was checked, CHECKED, checked thoroughly. So what is the reason? What is the reason? Let us see. So he was actually checked thoroughly to make sure that he carried no objectionable item. And particularly the governor did not want to take any kind of a risk. Okay, did not want to take any kind of a risk, and the security measure could not be compromised. For this purpose, he was scanned or searched thoroughly. Let us see. To ensure that he had no objectionable material carried with him. Yes, option B is correct. To check his true identity, it is already checked. To check if he was a real man. No. Option D, none is wrong. Therefore, let us go to the summary part of this answer. The invigilator too was a frisk to make sure that he carried no objectionable material with him. This part. Let us go for next question number 39. Let us go to question number 39. What made Evans had his last love? Means last winner. तो ऐसा बोला जाता है ends well do well, ends well do well means the person who succeeds or wins last is the real winner. बाजीगर तो वही होता है जो लास्ट में बाजी मारते हैं. तो अभी हम देखते हैं what were the quality for which or events become successful or the winner, he had the last laugh. Let us see the option. Is a prison officer opened his handcuff and helped him to escape. Yes. So we see the other options. Events was locked up. No. Events was released. No. Events none. Therefore, this is the answer which is very correct, because we see when he was napped or caught into the Golden Lion Hotel, after that he was sent through the prison van. Then his friend who were the officer opened his handcuff and helped him to make good his escape. Therefore, let us see that the summary of this answer. Even has the last laugh, as he is a mastermind in escaping from the prison, while the governor is just another good for a gullible governor. Although he had tried to escape many times, still he was able to earn some sympathy in the heart of the governor and the prison officer. So towards the end of this particular lesson, we come to understand that yes, in some corner of the heart of the governor and the other prison officer, the junior and the senior, there was some sort of appreciation. And some sort of appreciation was there, appreciation. Even though the jail authority in the form of the governor and the senior officers, they failed to nab or catch, even though they came out failure in the case of the events, yeah, they had some appreciation for the ingenuity. Ingenuity means the genuine quality. Genuine quality means the inborn quality, resourcefulness, his tact, his wit, his intelligence, that was supposed to be appreciated. Means in the heart of the heart, the governor and the other officers had the sympathy and had the praise for the jailbird, that is events. Therefore, let us go to the last question, question number 14. Here we go. Let us continue. Question number 14. What should the governor plan to bring Evans back to the prison from the hotel? What should be the governor's plan to bring Evans back to the prison from the hotel? He should have sent him by air. So there is no question of air in the book. He should have sent him with more people. He himself should have traveled alone. So what should be the governor's plan to bring Evans back to the prison from the hotel? So ये कैसा करना चाहिए था गवर्नर को in order to bring Evans back to the jail or the prison? तो अभी हम देखते हैं. So let us see वो क्या करना चाहिए था. What was supposed to be done? So he should have been extra cautious. He should have been extra cautious. He should have been extra cautious because he knew that Evans was very much tactful. Therefore, he should not have left any chance. Therefore, here we find no answer is suitable. Therefore, option number none is correct. Option number none is correct. Let us go for the explanation of this answer. So let us go for the answer. I think that the governor should have been extra cautious in sending him back to the jail when he arrested him at the Golden Lion Hotel. Also, he knew that Evans had fooled them earlier also. He should not send even in a van with the officer he did not know. Because of this serious mistake, escape once again easily. Therefore, no other option is there in this four options. Therefore, none is correct answer. He should have been extra cautious because he had also known the previous history of events, and he did some mistake in relying on or depending on the people he did not know. So this is a gross kind of the mistake that is committed by the governor. It is a gross mistake. It is a grave mistake that is committed by the governor. Because of that, it was Evans who had the last laugh in the battle of the weak. He wins. My dear children, I suppose through this MCQ and the full illustration of the same, you understood the lesson, you understood the heart of the matter of this lesson. Thanks for watching. Wish to meet you in the next video. Till then, bye bye and have a very good day.